The following episode of Data and Dissonance contains political commentary, opinion, sarcasm, and concern about artificial intelligence, jobs, creators, censorship, big tech, government power, and the speed at which technology is moving through American life. This is not anti-technology. This is not panic. This is one working American asking who benefits when the machine gets bigger, faster, smarter, and more powerful. Listener discretion is advised.
For the last 2 days, we've been talking about war, Congress, and whether the people running this country still understand accountability. Tonight, we're shifting gears, but the pattern is familiar. Powerful people move fast. Regular people get told to trust the process, and by the time anyone asks who approved it, the machine is already built, funded, scaled, and sitting in the middle of our lives like it owns the place. Tonight, we're talking about artificial intelligence, not the cute version where you ask a chatbot for dinner ideas or a birthday message. I'm talking about the bigger version, the version tied to jobs, cybersecurity, censorship, creative work, national security, data centers, energy demand, and whether regular Americans are going to have any say in the future being built around them. And this one hits close because I use AI. I'm not sitting here as some anti-tech caveman yelling at a printer because it asked me to update drivers. This show uses AI. My music, my books, my production work. AI has helped me do things I could never afford to do through traditional channels. It gives small creators power, but that's exactly why we have to be honest about the danger too. A tool powerful enough to help the little guy is also powerful enough for the big guy to crush him faster. That's the tension. AI can open doors. It can also slam them shut. It can help a one-man show produce like a studio. It can also help corporations replace entire departments and call it innovation. It can give creators new tools. It can also scrape their work, clone their style, bury their voices, and then tell them to be grateful for progress. So tonight's episode is called "The Machine is Moving Faster Than Washington," because it is. And the question is not whether AI is coming. It's already here. The question is whether regular Americans are going to have a voice in what comes next, or whether this becomes another revolution where the richest people in the room get richer, the government gets more power, the middle class gets a motivational webinar, and everybody else gets told to reskill while their paycheck disappears. The first thing we need to admit is that AI is not just another app. It's not like streaming replacing cable or smartphones changing how we live. AI is different because it changes work itself. It changes how people write, design, code, sell, hire, fire, monitor, analyze, teach, investigate, and produce. This is not just a gadget. This is infrastructure. And once something becomes infrastructure, whoever controls it starts shaping everybody else's life around it. That's why Washington is suddenly nervous. Advanced AI is not just a business tool anymore. It touches national security. It touches cybersecurity. It touches information control. It touches the economy. If a powerful model can find software vulnerabilities faster than humans can patch them, that can help defend America or help bad actors attack America. If AI can analyze massive amounts of data instantly, that can improve medicine, logistics, and emergency response, or it can become surveillance on steroids. The same tool can defend freedom or tighten control, depending on who holds the leash. And I want America to win the AI race. Let's be clear about that. I do not want China setting the rules. I do not want hostile regimes leading the next technological revolution. I want American companies, American workers, American creators, American cybersecurity teams, and American small businesses to have the strongest tools in the world. But America wins cannot secretly mean 5 tech giants win. 3 agencies get more power, Congress gets a donor briefing, and regular people get automated, monitored, and billed for the privilege, because we've seen this movie before. The internet was supposed to free information. Social media was supposed to connect people. Smartphones were supposed to make life easier. And yes, a lot of good came from all of that. But then came surveillance capitalism, algorithmic manipulation, censorship pressure, data harvesting, addiction loops, child safety disasters, and a political class that realized controlling information flow is often more powerful than winning an argument. So when the same crowd tells me AI will be different because this time they really care about ethics, forgive me if I don't grab pom-poms and start chanting, "Trust the server farm." The worker side is where this gets real. Every tech revolution gets sold with phrases like new opportunities and workforce transformation. And yes, new opportunities will exist, but that does not make the transition painless. A laid-off customer service worker does not pay rent with the phrase AI-ready workforce. A graphic designer losing clients to cheap generated content does not buy groceries with a panel discussion about innovation. A coder, writer, editor, legal assistant, analyst, teacher, musician, podcaster, or small business owner cannot survive on promises that eventually the economy will invent some new role with a title like Digital Transformation Vibes Manager. People are worried because they can feel the ground moving, and they are not wrong. Companies are already testing how many tasks can be automated, and the distinction matters. If AI helps a worker do more, that can be incredible. If AI becomes the excuse to eliminate the worker entirely, that becomes a social earthquake. A CEO calls it efficiency. Wall Street calls it margin improvement. A consultant calls it optimization. But the family at the kitchen table calls it panic. That's why this debate cannot be controlled only by Silicon Valley, Washington, and national security officials. They matter, but they are not enough. Where are the truck drivers? Where are the teachers? Where are the veterans trying to retrain? Where are the small town business owners? Where are the independent creators whose work helped train these systems? Where are the parents worried about what AI companions are doing to kids? If those voices are not in the room, then we are not building AI policy for America. We are building AI policy for people who already have lawyers. The creator issue is personal for me. I write books, I make music, I produce this show. I know what it feels like to pour yourself into something and then wonder if the whole digital economy is designed to bury you under an avalanche of content made faster, cheaper, and louder than you can compete with. AI can help creators. It has helped me. But creators still deserve respect. Their voices, books, songs, artwork, likenesses, and ideas should not become free raw material for giant companies to monetize without clear rules. Then there's free speech. This is where conservatives better pay attention because AI could become the next great censorship layer. Social media censorship was bad enough when humans and old algorithms were moderating posts. Now imagine AI deciding what is misinformation, what is harmful, what is unsafe, what is low quality, what is politically sensitive, and what quietly disappears from feeds, searches, hiring tools, advertising platforms, or government systems. And the censorship machine never introduces itself by saying, "Hello, I'm here to crush dissent." It says we're protecting users. It says we're reducing harm. It says we're improving safety. Sometimes those concerns are real. There are deep fakes, scams, cyber attacks, child exploitation risks, and serious mental health issues. But the same language used to solve real problems can also be used to silence lawful dissent if the system has no transparency and no guardrails. That's the problem with pretending AI is neutral. A hammer is neutral. A calculator is mostly neutral. But an AI system trained to interpret language, rank information, classify risk, moderate content, and answer political questions is not neutral in the way people think. It reflects the assumptions of the people and institutions that built it. That does not mean every system is evil. It means transparency matters. The government side is just as important. If powerful AI models are treated only as business tools, we may ignore real security risks. But if they are treated only as national security assets, we may hand too much control to agencies that already love secrecy. Both extremes are dangerous. We need innovation, but we also need civil liberties. We need safety, but we also need free speech. We need cyber defense, but we also need privacy. We need America to lead, but not by building a digital control system and calling it progress. And then there's the energy side. AI needs data centers. Data centers need power. Power costs money. And when giant systems need infrastructure, regular people always need to ask the same question: who pays? The future should not arrive as another line item on the electric bill for families already getting crushed by groceries, insurance, rent, gas, and utilities. If billion-dollar AI companies need massive infrastructure, they should not quietly pass the cost down to working families who never asked for a robot assistant to write corporate emails in the first place. That's the part the shiny AI demos never show you. They show the model writing code, creating images, solving problems, summarizing documents, and promising the future of medicine, education, and business. Some of that is genuinely exciting, but underneath every magical answer is hardware, chips, cooling systems, energy demand, power grids, contracts, and money. The cloud is not actually a cloud. It is buildings, wires, water, electricity, and cost. And cost always lands somewhere. So my position is simple. Do not be anti-AI. That is a losing argument. Do not be mindless cheerleaders either. That is dangerous. The right lane is pro-innovation, pro-worker, pro-creator, pro-child safety, pro-free speech, pro-national security, and anti-corporate capture. Let America build. Let small businesses use the tools. Let creators compete. Let parents protect kids. Let workers retrain. But do not hand the future to a closed club of billionaires, bureaucrats, and intelligence officials while regular people are told to enjoy the benefits later. Because AI will amplify whatever system it is plugged into. If you plug it into a free, competitive, accountable system, it can create incredible things. If you plug it into a corrupt, centralized, censor-happy, surveillance-heavy system, it will make that system faster and harder to fight. AI does not make institutions moral, it makes them more powerful. So before we ask what AI can do, we better ask who is holding the leash. That is why the machine is moving faster than Washington. Washington still thinks in hearings, press releases, turf wars, committee drafts, and donor meetings. AI moves in seconds, models improve in months. Capabilities jump before laws are finished. The government cannot micromanage this into safety, but it also cannot shrug and hope the biggest players behave. We need clear rules, limited government, free speech protections, creator rights, child safety, cyber readiness, and real worker support. Not panic, not paralysis, not a bureaucracy so bloated it kills innovation, but also not a digital Wild West where the sheriff is a terms of service update nobody read. Before we close it out, this topic fits exactly why independent voices matter. The people building the future have plenty of money, lawyers, lobbyists, and access. Regular Americans need voices too. Workers need voices. Creators need voices. Parents need voices. Small businesses need voices. And that's what Data and Dissonance is trying to be. One more voice asking the questions the big machine would rather skip. So if you support the show, follow it, share it, leave a review, and send this episode to one person who cares about where all of this is going. The merch store is still paused. Sponsors haven't come through yet. But the mic is still on, the mission is still alive, and we're still going to say the things that need to be said. Here's the final thought tonight. AI is not good or evil by itself. It is power. And power depends on who controls it, who benefits from it, who is protected from it, and who gets sacrificed to make it move faster. That is the conversation America needs to have, not the cartoon version where one side screams that robots are stealing everything and the other side screams that innovation will magically fix it all. The truth is harder than that. AI can help cure disease, defend networks, educate kids, grow small businesses, and empower creators. It can also replace workers, manipulate speech, erase creators, strengthen surveillance, and make giant institutions harder to challenge. Both things can be true at the same time. That's why this moment requires more than hype and more than fear. It requires judgment. I believe America should lead. I believe in tools. I believe in innovation. But I also believe the future should not be built over the backs of people who were never invited into the room. The worker matters. The creator matters. The parent matters. The taxpayer matters. The citizen matters. And if Washington wants the public to trust this revolution, then it needs to stop treating the public like an obstacle to manage after the real decisions are already made. The machine is moving. It is not slowing down. The question is whether we build rules that protect freedom, work, creativity, privacy, and human dignity, or whether we wake up one day and realize the future was signed away in a meeting nobody streamed, nobody voted on, and nobody explained. Pay attention now. Ask questions now. Demand answers now. Because once the machine is fully built, it won't ask permission to shape your life. Remember to speak truth, stir thought.
This episode of Data and Dissonance is brought to you by the creative world behind the mic. The books, the music, and the stories built by Artie when the headlines stop and the imagination takes over. Check out the Caleb Rourke thriller series, including The Covenant Protocol and Black Echo Rising for high-stakes action, conspiracy, loyalty, betrayal, and shadow war storytelling that fits perfectly with the world we talk about every night on this show. You can also support the music, the podcast, and everything connected to Data and Dissonance by following the links in the episode description. Every listen, every share, every follow, and every review helps keep independent creative work alive in a world where creators are fighting harder than ever to be heard. This has been Data and Dissonance. Speak truth, stir thought.